So, how are you feeling today?
I mean, I'm not bad. I've been better. Um, I just feel kind of stressed lately. I feel like there's a lot of commitments kind of pulling me in different directions lately.
And do you feel that they are, like, what kind of commitments are they?
Okay, so let's see. I've got research that I have to start wrapping up because research day is on the 26th and I have to present them. I have some classes, and I mean, like, I feel okay in my classes actually, but you know,
So
sometimes
it's extracurricular.
it's mostly extracurricular, yeah. And then like I've got a club where I'm becoming an exec member, but it's okay because there's another club where I'm stepping down as an exec member, just because I didn't really do re-election. And then there's like another club where like I have to plan all this stuff for next year. So like I don't know, it's I've got a lot of stuff going on, and I feel like if any one person saw me in one club, they're like a little disappointed in me, but me, I'm just trying to make sure that I do enough for each of them.
Okay. So you feel like you're spread a little bit too thin.
A little bit thin, yeah. And I don't know. I feel like I take on too much sometimes. Not just in terms of like how many commitments I have, but like sometimes I shoulder a little much in the way of like what I try to do.
Why do you think that you take on so much if you know that it can get you so stressed?
Because I know what it is to be like really stressed sometimes, and I don't want to put that on someone else. So I think I become something of a martyr, and I'm like, oh, well, I can plan this because I don't want to put that on someone else. I'll do the gross part of it so everyone else can have fun at the event.
But why does it have to fall on you?
I mean, it really doesn't, all things considered, but I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. I guess I just default to that. I feel like it's got to be me because I don't know. I was just kind of raised that way. Maybe I just was kind of raised that like if you're a good person, you're willing to like do things for other people, and I think I do that to a fault.
But where does that leave you?
To be honest, sometimes it kind of leaves me out to dry, but then there are other times where I see like benefits of my work paying off. Right, like I got to see an event that I helped put on that raised a significant amount of money for a really good cause. And that was a really empowering thing to have happen. But I still like, I don't know, after that, I was just reminded of the next thing that I had up. Like, I didn't really have much of a time to breathe.
Yeah, you should be able to bask in the happiness of the experiences that you have done and done well. Do you feel that the benefits outweigh or at least break even with the downsides to them? Or do you feel that it's after almost 3 years of school, it's kind of starting to build up?
I think, and I could be reading adult life very wrong, but I think that once I'm out of college, I don't have as many opportunities to do the things that I'm doing now, right? Like, I don't really have the opportunity to like lead Society of Physics students and plan out a trip where we just go somewhere for a weekend and have some fun, or I don't really get to be part of concert choir and just go to Scranton for a weekend and sing a really cool piece. I don't know that I can do those things outside of college, so I feel like I kind of have to do it now. And then like I think about, is it worth it? Like, do I enjoy it enough? And I think that I have a good enough time watching these things pay off. I do. It's just that sometimes there are these lulls in between where I don't get payoff. I just get the work that I'm putting into it. And honestly, that's kind of what life is. I think I'm just trying to prepare myself for that because, like, not every day in life is going to be beautiful, but that's what's nice about it. I don't know. I think I tell myself, like, I get to have days where I work so that I can have days where I get to have fun and enjoy myself and be with people I love.
Yeah, I mean, I think I can understand where you're coming from, but there that is also, I think, rationalizing the lows, I think, can help you get through them. That's fine, but I think you just have to be careful that it's not as frequent because adult life doesn't have to always be stress. It's not a low back burner constant. There are always going to be stressful things, but you don't have to just always accept them because I think that if you kind of pull back on a few things, there may be you can put yourself more wholeheartedly into a few other things and see
Mm-hmm.
less of the lower sides of them. But so I think that you might be able to get some of those other opportunities in adult life. They're just kind of in different forms. Because I know with Scranton, you went and sang with, I believe, another adult choir.
Yes, the Northeast PA Choral Society.
So, and I know that choir is sung with a couple other, like, adult groups. And, like, even at church, there's, like, the adults in the congregation. So it's not like there won't be other opportunities for leadership and other opportunities for group activity and choir in the future. So I think that it's not like it's now or never, but I think it's also good that you are able to take those opportunities.
Yeah, you're right.
But I think you also need to make sure that they don't outweigh the good. But I think that you do have a good outlook on things, but you also just have to watch out for yourself, because from what you say, it sounds very much other people first, and then I'll deal. Has that always been how you are?
I mean, I've tried to be that way because I kind of grew up hearing my parents talk about selfish people in their lives who, it's not that they didn't put other people first per se, it's just that far too often there were times where it wouldn't have taken much effort for them to put someone else first, and they chose not to. And I mean, of course there's two sides to that, because maybe it was asking a lot of that person, but at the same time, I also think, like, I don't know, I never want to be that person. I don't want to be someone who people look at and they're like, he's not doing enough for me. And I feel like I'm kind of wrapping around to that point because there's too many things that I am doing. And so now I kind of have to, like, there are things that I'm learning to say no to. The other day I had someone ask me if I was willing to work on a Python project with them because they didn't quite understand it. And I found a way to help that person, but, like, I didn't nearly do as much as I might have at some point in my life, where I sit down and I basically just teach them all the material. I gave them the resources so they could teach themselves. They had to put more time in, but I don't know, maybe it's one of those, like, fish for a boy, teach them how to fish kind of situations.
Yeah, because I know that you've always kind of been a yes man rather than,
yeah.
No, I need me time, because you are a triple major, a CA on the hall, you are, like, vice president of multiple things, you got so much on your plate, and you're doing research, and, like, triple major is a lot. And you're in Booyah, and there's so many things on your plate, and it's not to say that those aren't bad ideas. I think that, but then you also do tutoring through honors, and you are always the first person to be like, yes, of course, I will help you. Yes, 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 what can I do? What can I do for you? What can I do for you? And I just fear that you aren't saying that to your mirror enough to kind of do little self-checks. Like, is there any... Well, I'm proud that you've been able to say no to a few things. That's really good. But, and I can see that it's kind of, you are aware of this. I think that you just have to work towards that a little bit more.
Okay.
Is there anything else about that you think needs to change, or any other thoughts?
I mean, not really, although I don't know, I mean, just to talk about a couple positives going on. This past Friday, I got to basically help completely overhaul the constitution of a group that I've kind of been trying to get more involved in, BU Equality Alliance.
Yeah.
Because basically, the way that I have been helping with the drag show fundraiser that they do, they liked it so much that they want to have, like, a permanent position. And so, like, one of those positive payoff moments was when we sat in the resource center for all of, like, an hour and a half, and we just kind of, like, I don't know, like, we just crafted this new constitution that, like, totally worked for us, and, like, it just felt really good to be able to do that. And I don't know, sometimes, like, for as much as I complain about things, it's also nice to just kind of, I don't know, be proud of something for a bit. Like I said, sometimes I don't let myself earn that, and
yeah. Because I'm not saying that it's bad to take things on. I'm not saying
Right.
that it's not good to get as much out of the college experience as you can, because you are taking it for all it's worth, because I know that you are a first-gen college student. Your parents didn't get that opportunity, and you, like, were really excited to get everything out of it that you could. And it's really great. Like, you are so involved. I look at you, I'm like, well, I can take on a minor if you can do 3 majors. So I think that it's good to be able to see the good things that do come out of it instead of only just the stressful bits.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's good for that.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that's...
No, I think that's pretty much it, you know? Got to take the highs with the lows, but I've got to acknowledge them equally.
Yeah, I think you should make sure to pat yourself on the back more about the good stuff. To make sure that you do see that there are good things. It's not just stress to stress to stress to stress, and I have other things that need to get done, and I have other people that I need to make sure that they're not falling behind.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have to see the good, because if you're just in the shadow of all the bad things, that's what it's gonna become. But I think that you acknowledge that, which is good. It's just practicing saying no.
Right.
That's the next step.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you.